I want to do a quick video to talk about my Wargame resolutions for 2025. Now, this is something I used to do on social media. I'm not too much on social media anymore. I just find the social media sphere to be pretty toxic and driven by outrage and engagement, so that it's not actually useful anymore. I'm going to do it on video. I guess so. YouTube's a social media, so we'll consider this the only social media I still really use. So I want to do a quick video about my Wargame resolutions. Now, if you followed me at any point when I used to post these, I usually would make a list at the beginning of the year of what I hope to accomplish by the end of that year. And typically, I was a failure across most of those lists. In fact, I put Learn Battles from the Age of Reason on my list, I think, 2 years ago, and it wasn't until the very end of last year that I finally getting around to the table. And it was so much fun that I thought to myself, well, I should really do this more often and follow through, because I've had nothing but positive experiences. So I wanted to go through 4 resolutions I have for Wargaming this year, mostly so that people can keep me accountable, so that it's published somewhere, and then I can look back at this and people can remind me in other videos, hey, have you done this yet? Have you done this yet? So I want to kick that off here with just a quick showcase of what my plans for 2025 are as far as Wargaming goes, and sort of how I'm categorizing, what these resolutions mean in terms of gameplay. So the first, and it should come as no surprise if you watch my other videos, is my first resolution is I want to get more Battles from the Age of Reason played this year. I have now played the Battle of Volvitz, the Battle of Catusitz, the Battle of Mel, and I have a few of the others in the series, so I want to get one of those. I've been having such a great time, especially face-to-face with Bar, that I would like to get more face-to-face going. So that has come down to, in the year 2025, I would either like to get Lobositz played, which is the very first battle of the 7 Years' War, which is actually a period I have not gamed yet. All the battles I have gamed in the system have been War of Austrian Succession. So I think it would be really interesting to be able to play with some of the stuff that's unique to the 7 Years' War, including better quality armies, bigger armies, and also Attack Column, which is a formation that was developed during the 7 Years' War that I haven't yet to see in the game. So Battle of Lobositz would be a great one. It's a one-map game, Austrians versus Prussians, which has typically been what I've been playing so far in the series. And so it would be Lobositz. So it's one map with a lot of units. So it would be not a small undertaking. Or I want to do the Battle of Monmouth, which is American Revolution and provides its own set of challenges and unique properties given the scale and the combatants involved. And the Battle of Monmouth is 2 maps, but the number of units is actually quite small for those 2 maps. So either of these would be great to accomplish in 2025. And I think it's easily doable because my gaming partner, who has been playing these with me, has been really enthusiastic. So resolution number 1, more Battles from the Age of Reason face-to-face. One of these 2 games would be superb. Resolution number 2 is more Great Campaigns of the American Civil War. In fact, I would like to play Great Campaigns of the American Civil War once a month. That doesn't mean it has to be a campaign. It could be just a scenario. In fact, I played the first scenario out of Thunder on the Mississippi just last week. As you saw in my Shelf of Shame video, I really wanted to get this to the table, and I do have plans to play the campaign, but I would like to get the rest of this series to the table, especially the games I have yet to play. On to Richmond 2 is really high on that list, and so is Road to Gettysburg. I would just like to get a taste of the different scenarios and whatnot in the system, and it's pretty easy to have sort of a 3 to 5 turn scenario done in one sitting, so this should not be hard. I want to play more GCACW, but to further add to this resolution, I would like to get one campaign scenario of GCACW done this year, which it's already scheduled to be Thunder on the Mississippi, but we'll say stretch goal, I get one of the other campaigns in the series done. Maybe Hood Strikes North, or possibly something out of Stonewall Jackson's Way 2. Or On to Richmond. One of the campaigns in those boxes I would like to try and get done in addition to the Vicksburg campaign, because I love this series so much, and playing it last week really, really reinvigorated my interest into getting it to the table. It is superb, and I'm looking forward to a renewed focus on GCACW this year. Resolution number 3. Again, no surprise if you watched my Shelf of Shame video for 2024, and that is I would like to get to the table more often, let's say at least 5 times, whether it's a scenario or a campaign, more OCS. I would like to play Luzon. I'm definitely going to make that the priority. Let's get Luzon played at least once, if not twice. That should be fairly doable. But as a stretch goal, I would really like to get one of these two games played, either Crimea or Third Winter. I've had Third Winter sitting on the shelf for a couple years now. I don't think I can get the whole campaign done. I've seen the whole campaign set up, and it is massive, but I would like to play some scenarios out of here. I would like to solo Scorpions in a Bottle, which is the small one sheet, 8.5 by 11 sheet scenario about the... Hube's Pocket from here. I think that would be a good one to solo. But I would like to get a couple of scenarios out of here played, or possibly get all of Crimea played. And when I say all of Crimea, I either mean 1941 or 1943, one of the two, not both of them. I think 1941 would be interesting, but I don't know how engaging that would be face-to-face. I think 1943 will be more interesting, and especially with Forgotten Battles coming out, which is, I believe, Army Group South, you can connect... that is sort of the missing piece here. You could actually connect Third Winter, Forgotten Battles, and Crimea all together if you wanted to do something that crazy. And then when Hero City comes out, you could have the entire Eastern Front from 43 onward. But I think that is obviously something that solo is definitely not doable. Maybe at a convention I could get part of that played. But I think my goal for the year is Third Winter scenarios, Scorpions in a Bottle preferred, Crimea, one of the two campaigns in that box for 2025. I love OCS. Been watching a lot of video on OCS recently, and I just really got to get back into it. As you can tell, sort of like my 2025 theme of resolutions right now is series games, lifestyle games, Battles from the Age of Reason, GCACW, OCS. These really big, epic, grand games that are really crunchy and deep that take a long time to play. So that is kind of what I'm feeling, actually, for this year as it pertains to dedicated things that I'm going to make happen. All right, my final resolution number 4. This is not a series-related thing, but it is a topic-related thing. So in the last week, I have managed to play, finally, the Deadly Woods Battle of the Bulge. I can't tell you, I think I got this back when it came out in 2022, and it's been sitting on my shelf. And I finally got it played with a friend of mine at our local club, and it was a really fun game. It was a very playable Bulge game, and a very interesting, kind of tense Bulge game, while at the same time abstracting a lot of stuff out of the sort of like tactical space. So like air, for example, is not even really present in a mechanical sense in this game. But you do get some historical Bulge results out of this. And I had a lot of fun, and I really want to play this again. And then that got me thinking, okay, how many Bulge games do I need? Sort of like the meme in Wargaming is like, okay, there's another Bulge game coming out this year. How many Bulge games can the hobby support? So I went and looked through my collection, and how many Bulge games do I actually own? I do have games that span the same topic multiple times. Usually that's a single war. Very few times is it a single battle. But for the Battle of the Bulge, I actually have 4 games. And my resolution number 4 for 2025 is, let's find my perfect Bulge game. The one that I am going to keep coming back to and playing over and over and get rid of the rest. So Deadly Woods, strong contender out of the gate. I really enjoyed it. I would like to play it again to really formulate my sort of more sophisticated thoughts on it, especially because I did win as the Germans in turn 4, and that was kind of lucky and kind of skill-based. The chit draw on the final turn prevented the Allies from reacting to some aggressive moves that I was making, so I was able to snatch an instant victory. But I think playing it again, especially with that same opponent, will yield different results, especially because the chit draw is so chaotic and different. But I did enjoy this, Deadly Woods. Played that. The next game in the Bulge that I own is Enemy Action Ardennes from Compass Games. This is a card-driven treatment of the Bulge. I have played this a few times. I've played it solo. I've played it face-to-face a couple times. It's been a while, and I do remember that the chit draw combat system I was kind of mixed on. I really, really like the card activation system. That makes the game really tense and what formations you're activating. And in general, it's a very pretty and well-designed game, obviously by John Butterfield. But the combat system with the chit draws, based on what the odds are, is very weird, and I haven't seen in a lot of other games. So I'd like to play it again to really get a final opinion on the chit draw. I think ultimately the chit draw combat system will either lead me to not like the game so much, or lead me to really love it in a way that I don't right now. So Enemy Action Ardennes, I would like to play this again this year just to sort of come to a final conclusion on it. I've enjoyed most of what I played the first 2 times, but I do have some slight niggles with the way that it works. But it is a Bulge game, and having 2 solo options in there is pretty nice, even though I do think the solo mode in the Enemy Action series is a little onerous to play. It's like very mechanically heavy with all the flowcharts and stuff. But yeah, so Enemy Action Ardennes, that's also on the list. I would also like to get more SCS played, talking about MMP games, and I do have Ardennes 2. And because I'm kind of on a Bulge kick right now, I figured this would be a really good SCS game to get played. This easy rule set. I do know that there is some, I don't know about controversy, but some spirited discussion around sort of some of the rules in this game and the balance of this game. I would like to try it for myself. I know some people love this game, and some people have some issues with the way that it's sort of representing artillery and stuff like that. But it is 2 maps, so it's not small, a lot of units, but it's SCS, so it probably plays pretty quickly. Me and my friend talked about playing this as well at some point this year. Not super urgent, but again, I would like to find out whether or not Ardennes 2 is going to be staying in my collection or leaving it when it comes to Battle of the Bulge. And then finally, just arrived from Compass's holiday sale. Oh my goodness. The Last Gamble. There is enough paper in this box that you probably need to cut down the entire Ardennes to make copies of it. So, Last Gamble, this is obviously Danny S. Parker's revised edition of his game from the late 80s that was on this topic. By all accounts, this is supposed to be an excellent game. However, this is the heaviest of the 4 games I've shown you about Battle of the Bulge. The heaviest by far. Lots of special rules. There's the rule book is thick. Number of player aids is significant. There's a lot to consider about the terrain and combat in this game. So people I know who have been playing this have been really, really enjoying it, but they do say that there is a lot of chrome and that adjusting to that heaviness of rules does take some time. But I would like to play it because it looks phenomenal. Clearly a lot of research has been done, and clearly the expertise level of the designers is off the charts when it comes to knowing what they're talking about here. This also features a fully formed air system where you're running air missions, different types of air missions. So really crunchy, lot to think about when you're playing it. From what I understand, I have watched some how to play videos. And I really would like to get this to the table to see if, you know what, is The Last Gamble, despite its heaviness, is this my Bulge game that I want to keep? So resolution number 4, figure out your Battle of the Bulge game, mine, by your I mean mine, that is going to be the one that does it for me. Now, I've not played Ardennes 44. I know a lot of people like that game as well. If that comes out this year from GMT, I will add that to this list and see if I can get that one played. I understand that one's pretty large as well, but a lot of people really like that too. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about this one. I know that the Battle of the Bulge is very popular. That's why they keep making friggin' games about it. And yeah, I'll take your tips under advisement in terms of which ones I should play next and which ones I should keep a lookout in terms of, you know, how they're being received. So that's it. That's my Wargame resolutions for 2025. Hopefully you all can keep me accountable for this, and I will see you when some of these hit the table and maybe provide some after action reports.